Hello crafty friends, it's day 7 of Die Cut December, the end of the first week. Today's random number was 3, but we've already done 3, that was arrows. So I hit the generate button again and I got number 44, which was geometry. So I'm going to use my geometry type dies today. They include a set square, a protractor, a pair of compasses. I do also bring in some more stationery items because I needed a few extra bits and bobs. But to start off, I took a panel of smooth white card and arranged my geometry dies down the left hand side because my idea was to use these dies to emboss on the card. It took me a while to decide on what order I wanted them in, but I thought I should put the largest one down the bottom so the weight was at the bottom of the card, as it were, the visual weight. And then I got my die cutting sandwich and put it in its embossing configuration. So it's a thick plate, a cutting plate, the rubber mat, the card I'm embossing with, the dies cutting side down, and then another cutting plate on top of that. And here you can see how it's embossed those dies. They look great. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to use it with the embossing going down into the card or the other side with the embossing up, but in the end I settled on the embossing going down into the card. I then popped the card in my guillotine and cut it down so that it would fit on a 4 by 6 inch-ish card blank. I went around the outside with my embossing tool to bevel the edges, and then I used tape runner to stick it onto my card blank. So that was the front panel done and dusted. If you want to know more about the edge beveling tool, then check out this video. I will leave a link to that in the video description. I then decided I wanted to die cut using my dies, not just emboss with them. So I die cut the images out of some matte gold cardstock. I chose this because it's the closest I've got to brass, and brass kind of is a geometry type material in my mind. I wanted to arrange these over the embossing, and again it took me a while to settle on the arrangement, but in the end I decided to put the set square over the set square, the protractor over the protractor, and the pair of compasses over the pair of compasses, just offsetting them so you could still see that embossing behind the die cuts. To stick them down I used high-tack white glue. And it was at this point I brought in my other stationery dies and I die cut them from some matte silver cardstock just to bring in a bit of variation. I've got 2 paper clips, a bulldog clip and a push pin. I do end up cutting the push pin out twice, and I added these amongst my geometry items. So as I was doing this, I was formulating what kind of card this would be, and I decided it would make a nice good luck card for someone maybe sitting some kind of exam, a maths exam or a science exam, something like that. So I grabbed my box of alpha dies and selected some Sizzix grungy typewriter font dies. They're quite delicate and quite thin, so I knew they weren't going to overwhelm the front of the card. I did want them to stand out a bit though, so I decided to cut them from black. So I stuck them onto a piece of black cardstock with a bit of washi tape, and then I put some double-sided tape on the back so that they would be sticky because they're quite fiddly to glue. Once I'd run them through the die cutting machine, I removed them from the dies and stuck them down. I put them about 1/3 of the way down the card in the middle, and I used my T-square ruler to get them lined up properly. And that was this card finished. Very happy with the way it turned out. Very quick and easy because I just used already existing metallic cardstock and black cardstock. I didn't need to do any colouring of papers or anything. But I do love embossing with dies. I think it's a really fun technique. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you like the card and it's given you an idea or two to try. If it has, do let me know in the comments. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the notification bell. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another Die Cut December video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.